Hey everyone, welcome back to Art of Morrigan. Today I'm working on a small 15 by 15 centimeters oil study of an eye, focusing on capturing structure, skin tones and soft transitions. Painting an eye is one of those essential exercises that can really improve your portrait painting skills. It teaches you edge control, subtle color shifts and how to work with fine details, all on a small scale, which makes it a great practice piece. If you enjoy traditional oil painting techniques and want to see more studies like this, make sure to like this video, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss my next tutorials. And as always, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Alright, let's get started. For this study I'm working on a pre-painted dry canvas, which gives me a neutral base to work on. I prefer painting over a toned surface rather than pure white, since it helps me to judge values more accurately right from the start. I'm keeping my palette really simple: titanium white, cadmium yellow lemon, madder ruby, ultramarine blue, burnt umber. This limited palette is all I need to mix realistic skin tones and natural eye colors without overcomplicating things. I don't start with a pencil sketch today. I go straight in with a thin mix of burnt umber and madder ruby, using just a touch of linseed oil to make the paint more fluid. This keeps the drawing flexible so I can adjust proportions as I go. I immediately block in the deep red shadows in the creases of the eyelid and the inner corner of the eye. Even at this early stage, I'm thinking about light and shadow rather than focusing too much on details. I keep my brushwork loose and gestural before refining anything further. Once I have my structure mapped out, I start blocking in the major tonal relationships. First, I establish the darkest darks, the shadow under the brow, the crease of the upper lid and the pupil. These areas help define the overall contrast of the eye. Next, I place the light areas, but I avoid adding pure highlights just yet. Instead, I focus on setting up soft midtones that will later help the eye look natural and three-dimensional. For the skin around the eye, I use warm shadows in the creases and cooler tones in areas where the skin is thinner. Even the whites of the eye aren't actually white, they have a subtle reddish-grey tone, which I mix using ultramarine blue, burnt umber and madder ruby. At this stage I don't blend, instead I lay down the tones clearly, setting them next to each other like puzzle pieces. Now I refine the skin. Pinkish tones go into the softer, fleshy areas like the lower eyelid. More yellowish or neutral tones go where the skin sits closer to the bone like the brow bone and outer corners. I constantly compare my painting to my reference, squinting to simplify the values. At the same time, I'm also adjusting the drawing, pushing and pulling the shapes slightly to make sure everything stays in proportion. Now that I have my main tones in place, I start softening some edges to create a natural look. I don't overblend. I use light touch with a clean soft brush, just enough to create smooth transitions. One of the most important transitions in an eye painting is between the iris and the sclera, the white of the eye. If this edge is too sharp, the eye can look unnatural. The upper eyelid crease and the shadow under the brow remain sharper, while the lower lid and surrounding skin fade out softly. The key here is to control the softness of the edges, keeping some areas crisp and others more diffused. At this point, the eye study is complete. If this were part of a full portrait, I would let the paint dry and add glazing layers later to refine it further. But since this is just a quick 1.5 hour study, I'm stopping here. The structure is fully developed, the values and colors are accurate, the edges are soft where they need to be but still defined in key areas. If I wanted to take this further, I could add more fine details like individual eyelashes and subtle skin texture, but the goal of this study was to practice form and transitions, not hyper-realistic detailing. I hope you found this eye study tutorial helpful. If you try this technique for yourself, I'd love to see your results, so feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. If you are interested in more oil painting tutorials, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you like to support my work and access exclusive tutorials, extended videos and behind the scenes process breakdowns, you can find me on Patreon. The link is also in the description. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep creating what you love, and I'll see you in the next video.